for the GameAbove Sports Bowl. Merry Christmas, everybody. We're underway. First play, a fake to Komolafe, and the ball might have gotten batted down to the line of scrimmage by Dakota Cochran.
So many of these guys, Matt, played in this area, in the Detroit area, Detroit Metro, with an opportunity to come home.
Komolafe stretches that for maybe 2 yards. Caitlin Carroll, the Cincinnati transfer corner, made the play. 3rd down and 8, opening drive for Northwestern. Delayed blitz, pass to the sticks, caught by Wilde, and he will be a yard short.
Oh, decision time early, Matt.
Komolafe, he was stopped! And CMU's defense comes up with the biggest play so far in this game.
And guess who's in the middle of that scrum? The 2 main linebackers, Brown and Kwiatkowski. The local kid.
Davis on 2nd down. Boy, that was a great grab by McIntosh right at the sticks. There's Brock Townsend. And he burrows ahead for a positive gain. Davis on 2nd and 9. Underneath hits to Corian Temple, their top tight end.
Got to convert this.
They have converted 35% on 3rd downs this year. Play action. Levis hit and dropped by Aiden Hubbard, who was questionable coming into the bowl game today with a quad injury. And it is wide left. Cade Graham, a rare miss. Northwestern takes over right around where they got stopped on a 4th and 1 on their opening drive of the game. These offenses relied heavily on the run game, particularly at the midway point of the season and beyond. Going through his progressions. Nice play defensively by one of their top cover corners, Brendan Diaz-Fernandez, another Michigander with an opportunity to play at Ford Field. Stopped on 4th and 1 in this territory on their opening drive. Stone will pass over the middle, and it's dropped beyond the sticks.
Good
for what
coverage.
would have been a 1st down grab, and now 4th down and 4. Here's Tyson Davis spinning out of trouble. Turn that into a positive gain on the jet sweep.
The handoff.
So multiple in the run game. First carry for Trey Cornish will make it 3rd down and 1.
Good opportunity to bring Angel Flores in the game. 3rd and 1, Matt. I guarantee he's running the football.
First snap of the day for Flores. Quarterback power left side. He has enough to move the chains. First time on the field since late October. Here he is in a passing situation. Scrambling out of trouble. Dropped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Levis now back into the game. Getting out of trouble. Hit as he threw. Wobbling ball is out of bounds, intended for Tyson Davis. And now a pre-snap penalty, and I believe it's a delay of game on Central Michigan.
penalty, still third down.
Levis quick throw underneath it goes. Back to the original line of scrimmage to the Green Temple.
Levis pass complete. Griffin Wilding back to return for the Wildcats.
Here's Preston Stone, and he is dropped in the backfield. First sack of the day for the Chips.
Preston Stone.
Keyshawn Hayden with the sack. Now in their third drive, and this backed up inside their own 15. On 2nd and 21, long throw hits Griffin Wilde. And he gained about 11 there, so that should make it roughly 3rd and 10. If they get back into a similar position, will David Brown roll the dice again? Pressure comes from the Chips. Stone off his back foot. Ball is popped in the air. What a play by Brendan Diaz-Fernandez, laying the wood on Griffin Wilde, who is shaken up after the hit. Second punt of the game for Luke Akers. Caleb Spann back to receive at his own 25.
Boy, that was nearly blocked by Central Michigan, Matt.
Spann evading tacklers, and then gets dropped by Matt Uline, their starting linebacker. Boy, Griffin Wilde shaken up, and we've just been told he walked to the injury tent, Dustin, after that hit by Brendan Diaz-Fernandez.
Well, and that would be a devastating loss to this Northwestern offense if Griffin Wilde is not able to come back in this game. Hope he's going to be okay. They'll take a look at him down there on the sidelines. But he's their playmaker. I mean, he's clearly the go-to guy. The two big snaps right there on that drive. They tried to pick up something and both targeted Griffin Wilde on the outside.
Angel Flores will start this drive at quarterback for CMU, their third drive of the game. And he weaves through traffic to pick up 4 or 5 on first down.
Angel Flores on the keep.
Up in a 3-point stance.
Oh, I love that.
Beeman following his blockers, and he is wrapped up short of the line to gain. And guess who? The all Big Ten linebacker, Matt Uline. Declan Dooley on for his second punt. This one a boomer. And good sign for Northwestern. Griffin Wilde back onto the field. Fair caught that at about his own 20.
Wilde with a fair catch at the 20-yard line after a 42-yard punt.
Curious to see how Northwestern handles this drive. Third drive of the game. Could they go back to the ground? You know, they've been passing a lot, and I honestly feel like they don't need to do that in a game like this. I mean, they've got a Big Ten offensive line that has played so well this year, Matt. They've gelled as the season has gone on. And having Komolafe back for this game, I'd be just handing the football to number 5 as much as I can and see if we can get some points on the board.
To that end, he missed their final game of the regular season against Illinois. Prior to that, he had rushed for 115 yards or more in 3 of the previous 4 games. Has only carried it 4 times so far today. This the 5th. Lost the helmet.
Thought it was a ball too.
Looked like a football.
It sure did for a second.
Jordan Kwiatkowski made the play. And they will give Komolafe a gain of 3. Bobby Preckle now in at running back. This pass out wide, caught, fighting for extra yards. It's Wilde. And they will give him enough to move the chains.
He got a really nice spot. Had to get to the 30. The official comes in and says first down. Preston Stone's getting up to the line. They're trying to go quick. They were rewarded for line the game, and now they want to get up on the ball and go fast.
First down of the game for the Wildcats. Here's Preckle. And he is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. Dakota Cochran met him first.
The gift to Robbie Prickle. Dakota Cochran and Elijah Reichert on the stop. A loss of 2 back to the 28-yard line. Second down and 12.
We're interested to see here if Northwestern wants to run another play.
Don't have to.
Take this to the quarter break and think about it, and that's what they're going to do. CMU had a chance to draw first blood, missed a 43-yard field goal. Neither team has gotten much going offensively, just 1 first down for Northwestern. Did not rely much on the running game as they did over the end of the regular season. They narrow losses to Nebraska, Illinois, and Michigan. This catch made by Lawson Albright, their number 2 tight end, brings up third down after the tackle by Caleb Span. Northwestern 0 for 3 on third down so far today.
Standing up there at the line of scrimmage.
And they do go to the ground on 3rd and 8. Caleb Komolafe with a first down gain, just the 2nd first down of the day for Northwestern. Fake it to Komolafe. Time for Stone. Has his man out across midfield. First down and a lot more for Hunter Welsing.
Preston Stone's pass complete.
Preckle cut down at the line of scrimmage by Levi Brown. Quick throw, batted down, almost intercepted by CMU.
Kwiatkowski had it.
Stone's pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete.
That ball hung up in the air
Brings
forever.
up 3rd down and 10.
So a break for the Wildcats.
3rd and 10. Delayed blitz. Does not get home. Stone completes the pass short of the first down to Elegon. And that has Braun decide to roll the dice. They've already gone for it once on 4th down unsuccessfully.
Gain of 3 to the 36.
Luke Akers is in the game.
4th down and 7.
In punt formation.
Akers in a punt for the
Surprising here in plus territory.
In most games, I'd say, yeah, it's surprising. In this game, we just watched that first quarter, right? I mean, we know what we saw. I think if you pin him inside the 10 here, it's going to feel like the field's 200 yards.
Great punt by Luke Akers. Backs CMU up inside its own 6. Worst starting field position of the day. Here's Joe Labus. Got about 1.5 yards to 2 after the tackle by Nigo Jackson. Trey Cornist up the middle.
Good run.
Will make it 3rd and medium.
The handoff to Trey Cornist.
Not bringing him in here, though, for 3rd and 3. It's Joe Labus. Labus under duress. Hits his target, Tyson Davis, and a first down grab for the Chips.
Complete to Tyson Davis.
Gains 12.
There was a lot of pressure, Matt, on the outside by 13 Josh Fussell. But this is going to be a look at the ISO of the receiver. And you can see Tyson Davis is wide open, but behind, watch this pressure coming from the corner blitz. Labus is just able to escape. Game of inches. But that was a huge pickup, huge conversion. They were pinned back, Matt. Now they have the ball at the 25.
Right out of the shadow of their own end zone. Back to Cornist. And the two-lane transfer gains 1.
I'm curious to see if they're going to put the ball in the air at all with Angel Flores in the quarterback. Here's your answer.
Play action under duress. Almost intercepted, was it?
They said it was.
Yes, it's a turnover for Northwestern. Braden Turner with the first takeaway of the game. And now Northwestern with great starting field position. Stone. Caught by Wildy.
All these guys up front, they're getting in there.
Stone takes a shot to the end zone as Wildy for a touchdown. 23-yard grab. Northwestern strikes first.
As they do a little bit of window dressing on this PAT attempt. And that was a really nice throw to Griffin Wildy, and they needed to have it. They needed to get points. Touchdown there off of that turnover.
Meanwhile, for Central Michigan, remember their defense got a 4th down and 1 stop early in plus territory. CMU had a chance to strike first in this game with a field goal. A sack by Aiden Hubbard sort of put them on the edge of Cade Graham's field goal range. He missed it, and since then their offense really hasn't done much in this first half.
No, they really have not. And this is an offense that needs to grind out drives. You know, they want to be methodical. They had a drive against Kent State. 18 plays, almost 11 minutes. School record length of drive. I mean, that's the type of offense they want to be, and they have to be.
1st and 10. Here's Labus. Double clutch. Ball came out. It's a live football. Northwestern on top of it. Carmine Bastone, as of now, with another takeaway for the Cats. And now Preston Stone operating with a short field. Underneath, Wildy again.
Preston Stone's pass.
His 6th catch of the day, including a touchdown on the last Wildcat drive. Komolafe with a stretch, has a seam, and a 1st down run inside the 5.
Caleb Komolafe on the carry.
Central Michigan's defense among the best in the country in the red zone this year. Taking on a Big Ten offensive line featuring multiple NFL future players. Stone, end zone. And incomplete. He was looking for Wildy again.
Stone's pass intended for Wildy, incomplete. Caleb Spann in coverage.
There is an injured CMU defender on the field. It is Michael Heldman, their top edge rusher. Ball is on the ground. Who got on top of it?
I think Northwestern got back on the football.
Boy, a fortuitous bounce for Caleb Komolafe. What could have been a disastrous turnover in the red zone.
Komolafe on the carry.
There's no doubt. Jonathan Decker was the defensive end coming in, and he kind of hesitates. He wants to make sure that he sees the football getting handed off up the middle.
From the 2.
But if he doesn't, I mean, he would have been right there. I mean, goodness gracious, you're right. Fortuitous bounce. It's a perfect way to put it.
Ball on the 2-yard line now for Northwestern. They have all too often settled for field goals this year. Prickle is stopped. And that brings up 4th and goal. Decision time again for David Braun in the first half.
I'm sure that they would love to go for this, but I think the right decision is to take the 3. You make it a 2-score game.
Well, they're going to lead the offense on the field, it looks like.
That brings up 4th down and goal from the 2.
Already once today, they've been stopped on 4th down.
I just don't know, like, 10 points is going to feel like 21. But if they get this, I'll be looking like the fool up here.
Under 10 on the play clock. They may burn a timeout, and they will.
Maybe it'll give them a little more time to think it over.
This is the first time, their first charge timeout of the half. Be 30 seconds in late.
On the ground, Komolafe marches in for a touchdown.
The kick is good.
Northwestern trying to extend their bowl winning streak to 6 straight. Third longest active bowl winning streak in the country right now. They lead it by 14 against a Central Michigan team that has just gutted and grinded and clawed out wins all year behind veteran quarterback Joe Labus. Began his career at Iowa. In fact, his only start with the Hawkeyes was a 21-0 win in a bowl game in 2023 against Kentucky. Comes here.
Was that the Outback Bowl?
It sure was. Comes here. Was the starter last year. Shoulder injury sidelined him for the final 6 games of the regular season. Worked so hard to get healthy. For 2025, and he lost the football. Michael Kilbane. Are you kidding me? 3 straight drives with a turnover for the Chips.
Can't make this up.
First down and 10 for Stone inside the 25. Play fake. Stone with time. End zone shot. Touchdown on a wide open catch. Lawson Albright.
The kick is
Justin Ruffin Jr. takes it out to the 25.
Justin Ruffin on the return.
And Watson Albright with a touchdown to make it a 21-0 game for Northwestern. And Joe Labus will come back onto the field for Central Michigan.
Central Michigan starts.
Certainly with Angel Flores, though he has not thrown the football much this year, he does offer a different look for this Chips offense that is so heavily relied on the run game. Nearly 70% of their offensive plays this year have been runs. On cue, Brock Townsend moving the pile, gains 6. Trickeration goes underneath to Townsend. Will make it 3rd and manageable after the tackle by Kilbane.
But they may be better off scoring on defense against Northwestern.
Labus brought down, gained none. Might have lost half a yard. It's Kilbane in the backfield again. Merry Christmas, guys. Looking forward to hearing all that and more at the half. Meanwhile, back here in Detroit, 4th and 3, CMU electing to punt after the no gain on 3rd down. Wilde way back at his own 10, fair catches after the 57-yard boot by Declan Dooley. No blood in this game until about midway through the 2nd quarter. Preston Stone, the benefactor of 3 turnovers caused by his defense.
Preston Stone on the keep.
And a nice keeper there showing his athleticism. Sneaky athletic transfer quarterback from SMU. Won 10 games with the Mustangs 2 years ago as a team captain. Injured in the regular season finale. Missed their bowl game. Today playing in his first bowl game. He's been excellent. And this offense has looked a lot different in the 2nd quarter compared to how they looked in the 1st quarter, which included just 11 positive offensive yards. First down and 10. Stone with all day. Has his man over the middle. It's Ricky Amarazi. Inside enemy territory. Finally dragged down by Dakota Cochran after a gain of 35.
Well, 1 minute later, Matt, they're exactly where they were had Central gone for the fourth down.
And Dakota Cochran is down after he made the tackle. Stone, low throw, incomplete, intended for Hunter Wilson. Pressure comes, screen set up. Komolafe snuffed out. His career long is 47. Pressure again. Stone feels it. Takes a shot downfield, has Allegan. Lots of contact at the end of that play. Caitlin Carroll with the coverage, and it's incomplete.
Great take delay. And there are a lot of Central Michigan fans here, by the way, as you can hear some boos.
5-yard penalty, still fourth down.
Wolverines looking for their next head coach. That was almost down inside the 5 and instead of touchback. Well, you mentioned it earlier. This offense has been built to sustain long drives this year. There's Trent Cornish. That's a positive gain of 7 or 8 on first down. They will not use a timeout.
Braden Turner on the stop. A gain of 9.
They will get the ball to start the second half. And if I'm Central Michigan, I'm going to halftime and they're just trying to regroup and trying to just settle down a little bit. Play the second half as if it's 0-0 and just see where the chips land at the end of the day. Because they didn't play a bad first half, the Chippewas. They played a bad 5 minutes where they basically turned the ball over 3 consecutive possessions that led to points.
A 3-touchdown deficit. They will receive the football to start the second frame in Detroit.
Touchback.
Well, it is Joe Lavis. And he delivers a strike to Henry Dryden. First and 10 carry. Cornish might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. In the second quarter, on a ball he was just trying to get away. Lavis steps up and dives forward 1 or 2 yards short of the line to gain, and there's a Northwestern player down at the original line of scrimmage.
Timeout for an injured player on the defense.
It is Caden O'Rourke, one of their defensive ends.
Media.
First snap of the second half for Angel Flores, a running quarterback for CMU. He will run it here. Has just enough to get the first down, but the ball is on the ground. Northwestern says they have it. It's Braden Turner cutting it upfield. Turner is in for a touchdown. Scoop and score. But there is a flag down behind the play.
Penalty marker on the field.
Angel Flores is also down behind the play. Well, there's a lot going on there. Initially, I thought it looked like Flores was down. Ball comes out, Flores shaken up. Of course, he's been dealing with that MCL sprain. As of now, it's a 47-yard scoop and score for Braden Turner.
After the fumble and during the return, personal foul, face mask, the fumbling team. That penalty will be enforced 15 yards on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
4th turnover of the game for CMU. PAT no good from Jack Olson. Brock Townsend in the backfield next to Joe Lavis. And they will give it to the redshirt freshman who plows ahead for a gain of 5. This long throw hits Langston Lewis, top tight end for Central Michigan, who's really had a quiet day.
You know, anything that can go wrong has gone wrong and will go wrong, and for them, they just need to find a way to turn it around.
Trey Cornist cuts it upfield. Robert Fitzgerald made the tackle. First down game. Trey Cornist in a running back. Ball in enemy territory for the first time for Central Michigan since the opening drive. And that is a strike delivered to Lewis, but jarred loose. Incomplete pass. Robert Fitzgerald, the Terminator.
Timeout.
In the wood.
Injured defensive player.
After the play.
False start. 69 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Pump fake, dump it down. Here is Tyson Davis. Spins out of play. Levis steps up and he's dropped. Aiden Hubbard, second sack of the day for the future NFL star. We began the game 1 for 4. Has looked excellent since.
That's a nice play on the inside by Levi Brown.
Delayed pressure. Stone behind on the throw and incomplete, intended for Wilder. Part of those teams at Ohio State, where had you not lost to Michigan, so they know that. Maybe you played for a national championship. How did that inform the way you went into the offseason to prepare for the next year?
Oh, it certainly motivates you. There's no doubt about that.
Komolafe sifts through the defense for a first down. Provide a spark offensively, and Komolafe went from the 3rd running back to the 6th leading rusher in the Big Ten. Contact and a leg flag comes in. Jayon Jackson draped over Hayden Elegant.
You're right, it was a little bit of a late
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. That penalty results in an automatic first down.
Well within the red zone. Robbie Preckle, any running back. Fake it to him. Stone backpedaling, end zone. Wildy, did he make the catch? Yes, it's a touchdown.
But there are flags down.
Holding, defense. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
Second touchdown reception of the day for Griffin Wildy.
Man, I think Griffin Wildy will play on Sundays. I'm not saying he's going to be a top draft pick, but I think he's going to make a team.
The kick is good.
While Preston Stone over 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Justin Ruffin out of his own end zone. Tackled out across the 20. Ensuing drive for Central Michigan. Bounced outside by Trey Cornist. First down carry.
Trey Cornist on the carry.
Particularly after this game was tied 0-0 early in the second quarter. But all the turnovers for Northwestern, 4 of them, and almost a 5th right there by Braden Bruss.
Boy, and that ball came out, but they did blow it dead. And for Central
The
Michigan,
runner's forward progress had been stopped prior to the ball coming out. Third down.
The ball was muffed at the snap. Labus saves it, zips it out to Davis. Somehow turned that from disaster to positive. You would think they go for it here with 4th and short. Due to the injury to Angel Flores now with a chance on 4th and 1. Quarterback power. Beeman. Did he get there? No! Robert Fitzgerald with the stop. And the Terminator wins it back for the Wildcats. Instead, a rollout for Stone. Fires, hits, Elegant for a first down. Robbie Preckle stopped after a gain of half a yard. Ryan Bowe, the backup quarterback, with the run there. Taking on a Minnesota team that has a nice bowl winning streak going. Stone, end zone, back shoulder to Elegant. He wanted a flag and won't get it. Will be a career high day with 10 catches. End zone shot. They did go to number 10, Amarazi, and it's incomplete. Brennan Diaz-Fernandez with the breakup. And Central Michigan's offense will come back onto the field.
Media.
Where a ball ricocheted off of a player's helmet, was caught and then run into the end zone by Seattle. Bizarre.
The 2-point conversion too.
Yeah, it was a personal foul. Illegal block below the waist, number 22. It was a block from the side, half the distance to the goal. We'll replay first down.
Levis almost hit Langston Lewis there. Instead, incomplete, brings up 2nd down and 10.
Levis is passing.
Levis checked down Langston Lewis, 1st down, and he's out across the 45. As Trey Cornish bounces it outside, the Tulane transfer still with some eligibility left. They're excited about his future in Mount Pleasant and extends the drive. Joe Levis playing in his final college game as well. Hands it off to Brock Townsend. Braden Bruss with the tackle.
Brock Townsend on the carry.
Levis floats. Lewis, what a grab! Did he get a foot down?
I think he did.
Yes, he did. Unbelievable catch by Langston Lewis. Whoa!
Out of bounds to the 3-yard line. First down, Chippewas.
Such an acrobatic, athletic play by Lewis. Wow, how does he get that 1 foot down, Matt? Unbelievable athleticism by Lewis.
Some oohs and ahs in the crowd here at Ford Field.
Yeah, that was great.
Young man who's finally healthy. Last 2 seasons been injury riddled. Just 5 games played for Lewis over the first 3 seasons of his collegiate career.
It's their first timeout
Central
of the
Michigan will burn a timeout.
30 seconds in length. Correction, medium.
Joe Levis leading the best drive of the day for Central Michigan, who is yet to score. Turned it over 4 times in this game. Underneath Townsend, he is close to the goal line and in for a touchdown. And the Chips finally score in the GameAbove Sports Bowl. 4th career touchdown for Brock Townsend.
Try an onside kick there, Matt.
Yes. Here's Zach Chippewas on to boot this potential onside. And it is an onside attempt, and it is quickly scooped up by Northwestern. Ryan Bowe in at quarterback. Gives it to Robbie Preckle. What a story he was this year for Northwestern. Came to campus as a tight end. Bowe slings it underneath. Pass is caught by Carson Grove. First down. Bowe backing up, floats it to the end zone. Contact downfield. Dakota Cochran in coverage. And no flags.
Post pass intended for number 85, Patrick Schaller.
Preckle tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Jordan Kwiatkowski. What a season and what a career for Kwiatkowski, who will play in his final collegiate game today. Ryan Bowe. Pass deflected by Kalen Carroll.
Post pass intended for Frank Covey, incomplete.
Backup quarterback Ryan Bowe trying to convert on 4th down and 11. Central Michigan drops 8. They got home and the pass is intercepted. Kalen Carroll with the pick.
Goes pass, intercepted by...
Davis complete to McIntosh.
Davis pass complete to Tommy McIntosh.
Davis on 2nd and 5, underneath, caught. Davis makes a man miss, turns the corner for a first down. Joe Davis under pressure, got cracked.
And that's going to draw a flag.
Davis pass intended.
They get Tyler Gates, 54.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 54, full body weight down on the quarterback. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
First down and 10 for Davis. Almost sacked. Evading pressure and run out of bounds for a loss. Underneath Langston Lewis. Will these 10 catches the most since transfer? Final seconds of Joe Davis's career. And so many others on this Central Michigan team playing in their final football game today.
Sort of. Is that a fumble?
Recovers the football.
It is.
Fitting way to end the game.
And the Northwestern team already celebrating. Well, hang on a second. That was a fumble. Yeah, it was a fumble.
The clock's going.
And the refs are going to let this one run out. Somewhat of a bizarre and anticlimactic end to the GameAbove Sports Bowl, which was dominated by Northwestern.